is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us. We are seeing new videos tonight of the aftermath of a hit and run in downtown Madison. It sparked protests after the activist group Urban Triage posted on its Facebook that it was a hate crime. In the post that has now been removed, they claimed a white supremacist intentionally hit a black woman in the street and that it took officers 30 minutes to get her medical aid. And when they did arrive, they pepper sprayed the victim and her friends. Madison police dispute the claims it took that long, but did acknowledge pepper spray was used, but only when an individual was being aggressive with another officer and to clear room for the ambulance. So with this new video, we're seeing firsthand, minute by minute, what happened in the moments after the hit and run. Eric Franke has the story.
You can see a crowd swarms in the street on University Avenue right as this video starts. We can't see for sure, but we assume it's right after the woman was hit. About 2.5 minutes later, we see the first squad cars approach the scene. Police get out of their cars and start walking across University toward the crowd.
Where's the person who got hit? They just ran over.
We hear the officer ask where the woman is. A lot of crowd noise. And about 30 seconds later, we hear them start to ask the crowd to clear the area for the ambulance. About 4 minutes after the woman was hit and about 2 minutes after officers arrive, we see a crowd carry the woman across University where there's a crowd around her for about a minute. A minute later, we start to see officers and members of the crowd getting physical. And within a few seconds, we see a few people start to run away as officers start to use pepper spray. The crowd calms down. Police continue to work on the woman until an ambulance appears 3 minutes later. 5 minutes after it arrives, the ambulance pulls away. From the time the woman was hit to the time the ambulance leaves the scene takes 14 minutes, according to this video. But we want to make sure you also see this after the ambulance leaves. An officer and a man are talking, and then they hug, continue their conversation, and hug again before the video ends. Obviously, we can't hear what they're saying, but it seems clear a connection is made.
To watch all 3 of these videos in their entirety, we have them on our website, channel3000.com. As this video is released, the victims' loved ones are pushing for justice. Madeline O'Neill shares their message along with where police are with the investigation. Maddie?
Police tell me today that they have identified a person of interest who hasn't been named yet as they continue their investigation. I spoke with a childhood friend of the victim who says the victim is in pain today and he hopes the driver will be prosecuted to the fullest extent.
I was infuriated. I was upset. I was angry. I was mad that this is still going on, especially in my city.
This video shows the aftermath of Sire's longtime friend being hit by a truck.
There were kids in the street, just like there have been for the last few weeks. Okay, but that doesn't give you a right to ram through a crowd knowing that this is going on in America right now. This just shows where he stood.
Not only is he angry at the driver, Sire says he's upset by police response.
Thank you.
Including the use of pepper spray in the crowd.
Could have just listened and helped. That's literally, her brother and her cousin were there trying to help.
According to interim Madison Police Chief Vic Wall, the pepper spray was needed to get help for the victim.
And one individual in particular was not backing up and was very aggressive and went hands-on with an officer. So it was just a matter of creating space for the ambulance so we could render aid.
Wall says the department released this video to dispel word on social media that it took half an hour for police to get the victim aid.
It's disappointing that some would, sort of spread false information to try to seemingly sort of fan the flames of the tension that we're all going through right now. And really the officers here did exactly what they should have.
For Sire, the hit and run was a spark for change.
And as a community, we have to be the voices for her. So this won't happen again.
Many have called this a hate crime online, so I asked Wall about that. He says that the legal definition of hate crime is narrow, so that can be hard to prove, but police are keeping their options open as they continue the investigation. There is a fundraiser to help with the hospital bills for the victim. We have that information on our website.
Madeline O'Neill reporting tonight. Maddie, thank you. Let's get a look at weather now. A few showers tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary.
Those showers are moving out, and we'll probably see a couple of showers pop up tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Let's take a look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the east. You can see some off and on showers during the day with lots of clouds. Every once in a while, there'll be a brief burst of a heavier shower that'll last for a couple of minutes and then move on just as quickly. Looks like another shower there toward the end of the time lapse. But you can see here in Madison and areas to the west picked up around an inch of rain over the last 4 days. Far southwestern Wisconsin saw 2 to 3 inches of rain and then some 3 to 5 inch amounts over much of eastern Iowa. Doppler track shows the showers, the more persistent areas of showers and thunderstorms moving off to the east. Still a couple of light showers west of Madison. High temperatures today held down because of the clouds and the showers. Upper 60s to the lower 70s. Janesville hit 77 before the showers moved in. Temperatures now are in the lower to middle 60s for the most part, but the dew point temperatures are starting to come down. 60 in Madison. To the west, they're dropping into the 50s, so it will be less humid for tomorrow. We'll still see a shower or thunderstorm pop up in the afternoon or evening with a high of 74. Summertime weather will return for next week. I'll have more details in weather in a few minutes.
There will be free coronavirus testing later this week in Sauk County. Sauk County Public Health, in partnership with the Wisconsin National Guard, will conduct drive-through testing on Thursday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. It will be at the Laval Town Hall. No appointments are needed, and you do not need to have any symptoms in order to be tested. Here are the latest state numbers. Confirmed cases have now topped 25,000. About 78% of patients have recovered. There were about 200 new cases confirmed today, with 40 in Dane County. The State Department of Public Instruction released its Education Forward plan today. It includes recommendations about what schools should look like in the fall, and it is important to note these are just recommendations at this point. As part of the plan, 4 models are provided. All include 1 teacher per 10 students, spreading students out, and a 4-day school week, reserving the 5th day for deep cleaning while students learn from home. Here are the 4 different models DPI is recommending. 1, students are in the classroom 4 days a week, spread out. The second model, all students report to class on a 2-day per week rotation and learn virtually the other 3. The third model is a weekly rotation. Half the students report to school on A weeks and the other half report in person on B weeks. And the final scenario, only elementary school students go back to class, spread out across all district buildings while older students learn from home. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections says nearly every inmate and worker in Wisconsin prisons who tested positive has recovered. Today, the department says of the 268 inmates who tested positive, 261 have recovered. Among prison staff, there were 66 positive cases and 63 have recovered. Native American tribes in Wisconsin say they are struggling to provide government services after the pandemic forced their casinos to shut down. The National Indian Gaming Association says about 241 tribes, including the 11 in Wisconsin, stand to lose about $22.4 billion, which is more than half their projected revenue this year. 5 new coronavirus infections in the world is from the U.S. Today, the country passed another grim milestone, 120,000 deaths. Many states in the South and the West are setting 1-day record highs in cases, but that's not changing most regions' reopening plans. Over the past 2 weeks, at least 18 states have shown a rise in hospitalizations. In Texas, the number hit a record for an 11th consecutive day. Governor Greg Abbott says the virus is spreading at an unacceptable rate in his state, but returning to lockdown is not an option.
If the positivity rate or the hospitalization rate increase too much, we have strategies to reduce the spread of COVID-19 without having to return to stay-at-home policies.
In what used to be the country's epicenter of the virus, New York City, less than 2% of residents have been infected as of today. The city started phase 2 of reopening today, allowing people to get haircuts, bring their children to playgrounds, and to eat outside for the first time in almost 3 months. 2 more staffers who attended President Trump's rally this weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma have tested positive. The president's campaign says both staffers attended the rally but were wearing masks the entire time. Prior to the event, 6 other staffers tested positive the day of the rally and did not attend. The White House announced tonight that President Trump plans to sign an executive order that will freeze new visas for foreign workers through the end of the year. They cited the need to preserve jobs for Americans amid the economic downturn caused by the pandemic. The suspensions include H-1B visas for tech workers and H-2B visas for low-skilled jobs, among others. Former Vice President Joe Biden's campaign has agreed to 3 scheduled debates with President Trump this fall. In a letter to the Commission on Presidential Debates, Biden's campaign manager said the 2 will face off on September 29th, October 15th, and October 22nd. A vice presidential debate will be held on October 7th. Vice President Mike Pence will be back in Wisconsin tomorrow. He will participate in a school choice roundtable event at the Ingleside Hotel in Pewaukee. The vice president will be joined by Education Secretary Betsy DeVos and former Governor Scott Walker. President Trump will be in Marinette on Thursday. Protesters gathered in Lafayette Square tonight outside the White House and attempted to tear down a statue of Andrew Jackson. It was commissioned in 1847. Jackson, who was the 7th president in the U.S., was also a slave owner. Police on bicycles responded to the scene and started quickly clearing the crowd away from the statue and out of Lafayette Square. A statue of former President Theodore Roosevelt will now be removed from the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. This statue shows the 26th president on a horse with a Native American man and an African man on his sides. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says it presents a white man as superior to people of color, and it's unacceptable in this day and age. Still to come tonight, we'll get your full forecast for the week ahead. Plus, housing prices are still on the rise in Madison. How much the average home now costs in the city, coming up next.
Happy 4th of July Super Sale, happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Two opportunities to play. Two opportunities to draw. 2 daily draws each day from the Wisconsin Lottery. With one at midday, that's at 1:30, and another in the evening, that's at 9. For pick 3, pick 4, and all or nothing. More chances to play each day. More chances to play each day.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every Toyota hybrid vehicle is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops for gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. See your dealer or shop and buy online. Right now, you can lease a new 2020 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid for $239 a month.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Let's summer. Let's dine out by truly dining out. Let's send smoke signals to the neighbors, then serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. Let's raise our tongues to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouths water more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer like Festival Foods. Every day, our doctors and nurses, our cooks, housekeepers, therapists, and every member of your healthcare team give the most of themselves to care for you, to care for our community.
are your champions of health.
Hi there, folks. Hattie has one day in the forecast that doesn't include rain. She's updating a stormy week ahead.
And city leaders want your input on the future of State Street murals. We'll tell you where they might end up. That's Tuesday on News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The Memorial Union Terrace began its phased reopening plan today. That includes physical distancing and other COVID-19 health guidelines. Capacity is capped at 25%, and guests have to reserve seating online through Open Table. Reservations are free for UW-Madison students, staff and faculty, Wisconsin Union and Wisconsin Alumni Association members, and active duty service members. For everyone else, you have to buy a $5 day pass to make a reservation. As more and more State Street businesses reopen following break-ins and vandalism earlier this month, the boarded-up windows that were turned into works of art are also coming down, but those murals won't be thrown away. The city says they belong to no one and everyone, and is trying to decide what to do with them. The city helped commission the artist who painted the murals, and since then, people have been writing into the city with ideas about where they should end up. Now, there's a survey with some of the most popular ideas, including auctioning them off to raise money for the artist or nonprofits, creating a temporary exhibit, or donating them to schools, community centers, or museums. The company that makes the antiviral drug remdesivir is about to test an inhaled version of the medication as potential COVID-19 treatment. Remdesivir is the only drug right now that has emergency use, FDA approval, to treat COVID-19 infections. The medication is currently administered through daily IV infusions at a hospital, but Gilead Sciences announced today the FDA has given the company the green light to start trials of an inhaled version. Carnival Cruise Line is canceling all cruises through the end of September. This decision comes just as the cruise industry voluntarily extended the suspension of U.S. cruise operations until September 15th. For any guests who are already booked on excursions scheduled for September 30th or prior, they can choose either a full refund or credits for a future trip. The 78th Annual Golden Globe Awards have been scheduled for February 28th. The announcement was made today. The event usually happens in January, but a number of Hollywood's award ceremonies have been pushed out recently because of the pandemic, which has essentially affected every level of the movie business. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are still set to host. Housing prices have increased in Madison for the 7th year in a row, despite the national average decreasing by nearly 10%. The average price of a single-family home is now just over $315,000. Madison's city assessor said supply and demand keeps increasing Madison's housing prices every year, with conversations around racial inequalities and being more inclusive in city planning. The city's focus is now on affordable housing to help combat the lack of diversity in Madison homeowners.
You have so much competition in the market to buy homes. It's not a simple equation if you're looking at providing affordable housing. It can be more of a challenge. I think it just requires a more thoughtful approach.
Later this week, we will be looking into how the housing market is impacting people of color in Madison. And here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at our work week forecast.
Well, you know, there was quite a bit of rain over the last 4 days over southwestern Wisconsin and much of eastern Iowa. You can see the area of down toward Waterloo and Cedar Rapids, Iowa, with about 3 to 5 inches of rain, or locally more than that. Southwestern Wisconsin, much of central and southern Grant County, about 2 to 3 inches of rain, and then about 1 to locally 2 inches for areas west of Madison. But east of Madison, the amounts dropped off to generally less than a ½ inch of rain. So the western part of the area was targeted more with the heavier showers and thunderstorms. Now you can see some heavier showers northwest of Milwaukee. Looks like a heavier shower just in the far eastern portion of Rock County, moving east of Milton. To the west, still a few light showers west of Madison, but to the west, farther to the west, you can see just a few very light showers in Iowa and Minnesota. Those are dropping to the south, and those will dissipate overnight. So we'll probably see generally dry conditions later on tonight through at least the first part of the day tomorrow. Now, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s with some sunshine, at least for part of the day for tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll also see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms pop up that will die down during the evening. Thursday will be warm with high temperatures in the lower 80s, and we'll see sunny skies. And then the humidity starts to return by the end of the week, so we'll see middle 80s for Friday and Saturday with some shower and thunderstorm chances. Actually, showers and thunderstorms likely, but as the humidity levels come up, summertime weather will be here again, full force for next week. High temperatures today didn't get out of the 60s for La Crosse and Marshfield. Madison barely made it into the 70s, but again, a lot of it was just because of cloud cover and showers that were with us for much of the day. Notice the upper level winds. They become a little more northwesterly to the west. That will bring in slightly cooler air with high temperatures in the middle 70s for the next couple of days, but eventually that jet stream pushes to the north and the western part of the country, and you can see this cold front then becomes stationary farther out to the west. So the warmer air is building out to the west. It'll just take a little time to get here. As we check out current temperatures, right now 60s across much of the state. Dew point temperatures are in the low to mid 60s over eastern Wisconsin, but notice how they drop to the west. That's a sign the drier air is starting to move in. Still enough moisture to pop up a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon over the next couple of days, but not everybody will see them either. Take a look at what happens to temperatures after Thursday, though. We're in the middle 80s for Friday and Saturday with more humidity, and upper 80s as we head into the pretty much through all of next week, with a few days probably close to 90, if not above 90 in parts of southern Wisconsin. 74 for the high tomorrow with some shower and thunderstorm chances in the afternoon. On future track, you can see the rain moving out overnight, some sunshine tomorrow morning, then a few showers and thunderstorms pop up tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. They die down. And then for tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, same thing. We see a few showers and thunderstorms pop up in the afternoon. 7 to 10 day forecast. Those temperatures climb into the lower 80s on Thursday, middle 80s for the weekend with more humidity, and then temperatures go up and the rain chances go down for much of next week. Again, those temperatures could be up close to 90 degrees, but just slight chances for thunderstorms since there won't be any organized weather systems around to really break the heat.
Wow, that repeat of humid, Gary. I'm sure that's not a mistake?
No.
Oh my gosh.
That's summertime weather, and it looks like it'll be here for a while.
Wow. All right, Gary, thank you.
Okay.
And just ahead in sports, the Wisconsin football team lost a lot of production in the passing game, but why head coach Paul Chryst is expecting another Badger duo to have a bigger and better 2020. Next and next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save at Wild Easttown Honda on over 400 new Hondas with 0% financing for up to 60 months. Save on your favorite new Hondas at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
At Pick and Save, we always do our very best to make sure we've got you covered. Restocking our shelves with help from one of the country's biggest supply chains. And we'll continue to bring our A game to get you what you need when you need it most. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I have a question for you. Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
Yes, I was.
Do you always wear your seatbelt?
I do, thank you.
Do you need any help out there?
Do you want to help me? Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to say thank you. We really appreciate that you wear your seatbelt every single day. Click it or ticket.
How to get more out of your Wisconsin Dells vacation. Ride more rides, slide more slides, maybe even go for a train ride. Have more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Bite off more than you can chew. Who says less is more? More like more is more. Now that's more like it. Hey, you're getting more than you bargained for. All the more reason to do a little more. Need I say more? Wisconsin Dells. That's more like it. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
SHOPKO season is here, and the signs are all around us. Like free installation on all windows, siding, and doors, and no interest for 1 year. It's time to jump on that home renovation project, and free installation all from the comfort of home. That gives you time to make the most of your SHOPKO season.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for SHOPKO.
For years, iMart Express has provided quality eyewear and same-day service to your community. With sights set on the path forward, we continue to rally together to keep your future in focus. Get 2 pairs of single vision glasses for under $40 and 2 pairs of progressives for under $80. We've implemented additional measures to ensure the safety of everyone that comes into our stores. We thank our local heroes for your dedication to our community. For more information, visit imartexpress.com.
No one sells more. Wild Automotive sells more SUVs and all-wheel drives combined than any other dealer. Wild is the #1 volume SUV and all-wheel drive retailer in Southeast Wisconsin. The more we sell, the more you save. WildAuto.com.
When you think of production over the last couple seasons, nobody comes close to what Jonathan Taylor did for Badger football. But he's not the only one Paul Chris and company have to replace. Gone are Quintez Cephas and A.J. Taylor, a duo that combined for 82 receptions, 1,168 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns last year. That's a pretty big void to fill. But the good news, Danny Davis and Kendrick Pryor are back for an even better and bigger 2020.
They'll be missed, certainly. But, you know, Danny and KP have had big moments, and they've had big games. And now it's their opportunity to turn those into big seasons, right? And for them, they've had the right approach. You know, they know this is their last shot at it.
The Badgers added another commitment to their 2021 class. Ricardo Hallman announced today that he's coming to Madison. Rivals tabs the South Florida defensive back as a 4-star. Hallman chose Wisconsin over Arkansas, Baylor, and other Power 5 schools. Of the 117 Wisconsin athletes that returned to campus for voluntary workouts, the university has announced 2 tested positive for COVID-19. Those Badgers are self-isolating and being closely monitored. The names of the athletes and their sport were not released. But remember, football and volleyball players were the first allowed back on campus on June 8th. And this was the scene before today's Geico 500 at Talladega. All of the drivers and their pit crews pushed Bubba Wallace's 43 car together to the front of the starting grid as a way to show support and solidarity to Wallace, who found a noose hanging in his garage stall yesterday. Ryan Blaney ended up winning the race, but the moment before is what people will remember for a long time. Pretty powerful. We're back after this.
6'4", 240 pounds. Everybody has 600 horsepower.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With special offers like 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Now get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Contact your Ford dealer or stop by today.
Today, some things do stand firm. Those you can lean on, the things that matter, and the importance of you being you. That's why, no matter the type of care you need, or the way you need it, we're here every day, safe and ready. Because wherever you are in your world, you're the focus of ours. Safe care your way. Unity Point Health Meriden, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
I'm here. Auntie's here. Hey, Mom and Dad here. Scout's here. Shall we begin? Friends and family, we are gathered here today to celebrate.
Together, nothing can keep us apart. That's why U.S. Cellular eliminated data overages on our reliable nationwide network, so you can stay connected.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At SHOPKO Optical, your eyes are everything to us too. Which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're SHOPKO Optical. You'll see.
Growing up in Wisconsin, you know that our traditions help define us. That's why so many of us choose EdVest, Wisconsin's 529 college savings plan. Getting started online is quick and easy. And even if your kids are blowing out more and more candles, EdVest is a great way to prepare for the cost of higher education that will be here before you know it. Contribute at edvest.com to take advantage of the 2020 Wisconsin state tax deduction.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today. Go to Amazon.com/skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs.
Finally tonight, check out this photo from the International Space Station, getting a different view of this weekend's solar eclipse. NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy took the photo. It shows the eclipse's shadow on the Earth. On the post on Facebook, he wrote in part, quote, "Super cool view of the annular solar eclipse, which passed by our starboard side as we flew over China." Gary, unfortunately, we were not able to see that.
2024 is the next one. That
Okay.
will be, it won't be here. We'll see a partial eclipse. So you wouldn't have been able to see eclipse today. Tomorrow, we'll see some clouds in the afternoon with maybe a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon. Look for warmer weather as we head into next week.
All right. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Do something good. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
The choice of former Governor Tommy Thompson to serve as the interim president of the University of Wisconsin system is nothing short of inspired. It's hard to think of a better person to fill the position for the year the regents have wisely decided to devote to finding a permanent president. After a rough recruitment process and the withdrawal of the one and only finalist to succeed retiring system president Ray Cross, Regent President Drew Peterson thought to ask Thompson, who throughout his long and distinguished career has been an enthusiastic champion for the UW. He's also proven himself capable and willing to work in a bipartisan way. Thompson gets it, and he cares. He knows how important the UW is to this state, its citizens, and their shared future. And he has been passionate about supporting and promoting its mission. We love the appointment and thank Governor Thompson for accepting it.